and welcome to Focused Power. This is your upper body workout 3.1. So I'm excited. Let's go ahead and jump in there because we got a lot to do. So let's just march in place. Make sure you're really bringing back those arms because we're warming up our full body, but it's an upper body muscle strengthening workout. So we want to make sure that we have movement up here, especially in our shoulders with this move. So like I said, this is a 3.1. So if you feel like you need to bump this up, maybe you want to come back and do this again and you want to take it up a level, do the 3.2 or the 0.3. But this is definitely a place where you can find variations that work for you. Jump in there. And we're going to do the thing. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Shoulder roll. Bring it back. Do a little tap step situation here. So this is fantastic because you're going to see just a lot of upper body moves. We're going to tackle the biceps, triceps. We're going to do shoulders, chest, back, all the things. But the idea is that you will see other upper bodies in this series. So this is your 3.1, but I think we have one coming down. I think it'll be like 10.1, which will also be an upper body, and they will get more challenging. You will see weights that start coming into some of these variations as well. So it's an opportunity for you to really find where you feel like you're being challenged and that's also comfortable for you. 3, 2, 1, shoulder roll forward. Bring that forward, a few of these. And know that you can take this at your pace. So we're gonna do a series of about, I think we have 9 moves in here. We're gonna do them for 30 seconds each. No breakthrough. We're gonna go straight through them because we're amazing like that. 3, 2, 1, reach side to side here. Gonna go straight through. Then I'll give you a break and then we're gonna tackle them again. So that's a little bit of the format if you're curious to know, just so you can mentally prepare. Like, okay, I'm gonna do these moves and we're just gonna go through them and then I get a break. Now take it across here. Reach, right just across your chest. You want to get your legs into this. Get a little bit of movement. Have fun with it. Like that's the main thing. Have fun. If at some point you need to take a pause, you need to press pause. If you just want to shimmy in the corner for a little bit, you're like, I'm good. But make sure you hop back in and you finish this strong with me. 3, 2, 1. Give me a chest press. Slight bend in the knee. And we're gonna see this move. I want you to focus on this because we're gonna do this in the workout. Pull this apart. So the idea of like you're pulling something apart and you're pressing it together, squeezing a ball or something in the middle. So pulling it out, pressing it in. Like you said, we're gonna be doing this in the workout. So I get to introduce this to you now. And all of these are standing position. So sometimes we've seen some of these upper body workouts and you've either used a bench on the ground. I'm keeping all of these for this workout all in the upright position. No weights, no equipment required. 3, 2, 1. Let's just do a couple more of these side. We just did them, but come back to it. Again, we're going to be doing a lot of work in the shoulders, and this also helps loosen up your core. And a little bit of a spinal twist, making sure you're lifting up your heels as you bring this across. Deep stretch, stretch, reach. Awesome. Keep it going. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Shake it all out. So we're gonna go right through the moves one by one, and I'll just literally teach them to you as we go through. So then that way when we take our water break and we take a little break and we jump back into it, you already know the moves and then you can really go for it on that second time through. So our first one we're gonna start is with a chest squeeze out. Literally what we're gonna do is bring our hands together, start with your palms, really press into that and then bring that all the way through your fingers. Even the pads of your fingertips are pressed in. That is the resistance. That is why we don't need weights because we're going to use our own body and we're going to use gravity to help us. So you're going to point your fingers out with that same resistance all the way through this move. You're going to press this out and in. Here we go. Out, pressing it through. Again, trying to keep that same level of resistance. If you're going really strong here, try to keep that same resistance all the way through as you bring your arms out. My hands are already shaking. They're like, ah. But that's why I'm challenging you in this without weights, right? Like you can still, you're gonna feel your body working through these moves. And then maybe if you find that you wanna bump this up as we progress and add weights, then you can. I'll give you the opportunity to do that. 3, 2, 1. Shoulder pulses. You're gonna bring your arms into this gold post situation and then just pulse. It's a 1 to 2 inch move. You can either give, raise the roof, what? I'm just saying, if that's where you wanna be, if you wanna raise the roof, go for it. Who am I to stop you? Slight movement, really keeping it engaged in your torso, under the shoulders. Keep it going. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out into that chest fly. Move. Slight bend in the knee. Pulling that out. Pushing it together. Look, if you were doing this move in like a vat of taffy, like something that is like so thick that you're doing this move. Feel that when you have that imagery in your mind, that intentionality, you will feel your muscles activate for you. This is how we're able to do these moves without equipment, right? But it takes you putting in that effort. 3, 2, 1. Shake it out. Going into a standing skull crusher. You're gonna, just like our chest press, bring your hands together, create that resistance. Hands are gonna go up, and you're gonna hinge at the elbow. Bring them down and up. And we're in it, down and up. Keeping the elbows in. If it's hard to keep the hands together, just imagine that you have a ball there, right? You're squeezing it through and you're bringing it down and up. Again, hinging right here at the elbow, up, straight back. Making sure our elbows aren't like coming out here, right? Then it takes away from our tricep. 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Shake it out really quick. We're going into our bicep curls. So we're gonna start up, bring this halfway down, up, halfway down. You wanna check yourself in the mirror just to make sure that it's halfway down, right? It's just right there. Okay, you could put something right on my hand. Sometimes we think we're going halfway down and we're like here. Breathe through it. Elbows in, right at your side. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now come down, or bring it halfway up. Down, halfway up. And if you wanted to grab a bottle of water, or maybe you do have weights and you wanted to start the move that way, just so you can feel what that activation feels like in the biceps, and then put them down. I mean, that's a great indicator. It's like, am I activating this muscle? And then you can put them down, and then you recreate that. Right, this is about muscle memory. So the great thing about doing this without weight is we get to literally just focus on the form, right? Focus on the positioning, the alignment, and then we get to challenge ourselves as we continue this journey. 3, 2, 1. Quick shake out. Now we're gonna do full range. So all the way down to all the way up. There we go, down, all the way up. So sometimes we see people do this with heavy weights. They're like, yes. And you want to just jump in there. And maybe you are there. Maybe you've done this a million times. But even so, I've done this move, who knows how many times. But there are times where I just check it, right, without weights, because then I can really focus on how's my alignment, right? Am I really activating and concentrating into this bicep? And then once I have that muscle memory, that correct muscle memory, then adding in the weights, you know that you're doing it, you know, the right way for your body. Sometimes it just takes it, stripping it down to its lowest common denominator and then building it up from there. And that's okay. 3, 2, 1, shake it out. Awesome. We're gonna do lateral raises, so we're gonna end up bringing our arms right out. Then you're gonna do like a half circle to a 45-degree angle, and then another half loop to straight in front. Again, all right there at shoulder height. So we're in this, here we go. So it's up, loop, loop, down. Up, 45, straight ahead, down. I love this little move. It's like targeting different parts of your shoulder in just this one move. And if you have light weights, just hold them, right? Take your time through this. If you feel there's some sticking points in the shoulders, take your time. This isn't a race. Give me one more set. Up, 45, straight across, down. What? We're on our last move of this set. What? So we're gonna do our bent over row. So here, stance is important. Feet shoulder width apart or wider. I have a belly, like I lift it, move it around, find the situation, then I come down, slight bend, and hinging at the hip. I'm really pushing my booty back because the main point is to have no pressure in that lower back, right? We don't want any pressure there. So for you, if you're finding you're like, yes, if you're feeling pressure, maybe you lift it up. Sometimes you might have to bring it lower, or you can even go into a kickstand position where I have one foot behind the other, slight bend in both. Again, I'm pushing my booty back on this because that's what feels best for my body to protect my lower back. And then I hinge it over. And then again, it's finding that position of where it needs to be. Even if you're here, it works. So come into a position that works best for you, because we're gonna do our bent over row. So hinge at the hip, palms to get facing each other at each side, and then you're pulling this up like you have an imaginary pencil between your shoulders. Here we go, and exhale as you pull that up. So imagine you got 25, 30-pound dumbbells in each hand, lifting that up. I do this exercise with 35-pound dumbbells. But like I said, just stripping it down and taking away the weights, I can focus on the position of my feet, of my back. I'm like, okay, is this where I need to be? Do I need to adjust it before I add any weight to this? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. That's our first set. Go ahead, grab a drink of water, towel down, take a moment, literally giving you a little bit of time here to catch your breath. 1, also, to just bask in the fact that you just did that, right? All those moves, no breaks, made it through. You got this. So it's, you started something, you saw it halfway through, you have it in you to finish this out. You got this. Even if it was a challenge, even if that first set, you were like, Kanoa. Like, really? What is happening? It's okay. This is how we grow, right? It's pushing ourselves out of our comfort zone. You may not have worked certain parts of your upper body ever, right? And this might be completely new for you. Please celebrate the fact that you're here. Please celebrate the fact that you just did that. I mean, that is the main thing that I want you to take away. And now we get to do it one more time, one more again, and then we're really gonna celebrate this thing, okay? So I'm giving you literally 5 seconds, and then we're going into our chest squeeze here. 3, 2, and slight bend, hands pressed, right on out, and in. Remember, as much resistance as you're putting into this, that's the work that you're putting in, right? So if I'm light at this and I'm kind of just not really adding any pressure, and honestly, maybe that is where you are, and that's okay. But if you feel like this is easy and your arms aren't shaking, I need you to press a little bit harder into this. 3, 2, look at all of a sudden my hands got shaky. 2, 1, shoulder pulses, our gold post, or raise the roof hands, and slight pulse. And this isn't a fast pulse, right? We're not like, whoa, whoa. Slow and controlled so you can focus on the movement. Don't do any of this passively. Really be intentional and think about what your body is doing. Think about these muscles that are being engaged in this movement because you're strengthening them. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Chest fly. I'm gonna take a kickstand here and out. Pulling apart, squeezing something together. Remember our idea that we're in taffy. These are movements that you may never do. We don't do these in regular days. Like, what are we doing where this is like an actual motion, right? So you may really feel the challenge here. I do. I'm like, what? 5 more seconds, come on. You got this. 2, 1. Shake it out, skull crusher. Hands up, over, elbows in, down, and up. A big thing here, make sure that even though it's lifted, that your shoulders aren't like cramming up into your ears, right? You're bringing them down and up. Or you're squeezing that imaginary ball. You're bringing it down and up, elbows in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it up. Awesome. Shake it out into our bicep curls, starting up. Remember, we're going to bring this halfway down, and we're in it. Awesome. I mean, a lot of these movements are so important because whether you're just strengthening for life, right, for everyday activities and just getting stronger in your body for those things, or maybe you're like, I have this trip planned, I want to go rock climbing and bouldering or paddle boarding. All of those things take upper body strength. 3, 2, 1, down and up. And I'm a big believer that you can do anything and everything in the body you're in right now. Like I'm the girl who I'm like, yes, I will do anything once. You want me to like parachute out of, I don't know, something, I'm in it. But I know that I can do it better, safer, and have more fun if I'm building strength, if I'm building stamina, right? Like I can do all the things, but it takes just building a little bit of strength, doing a little bit of work to help my body be at the place of most potential to really just rock at it. 3, 2, 1, down, halfway up, or to do it longer, right? Or better, faster. Up, down. You are killing this. Stay with me. We literally, this and 2 more moves, and we're literally done. Come on, you got this. You can finish this strong. Breathe. I'm here focusing too. 3, 2, 1. Up, laterals. 45, forward, down. So straight out, 45, front, down. Lift this with intention and strength. Again, like I don't know why taffy is my thing right now. I really don't. It's the thing that I just thought of, but it's like moving through something really thick, right? So then you think of that resistance. Last one, 45, front, down, bent over row. Here we go. Down, feet shoulder width apart, hinge at the hip, booty back, shoulders, palms facing each other, and up, down. Even in this move, I am so engaged through my lower body and my core to protect my lower back. But again, if you need to bring it up here, or you bring it here, or it's lower, play with it. Don't just imitate what I'm doing and it's uncomfortable for you and you feel the pain and stay there. No, just adjust for your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, give me a strong one, and down. Yes. You just did that. You just did that. And you may have started this thinking, I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what's about to go down. But you did this and you're still standing with me. And it doesn't matter what it looked like from the beginning to end. Like I said, if you had to press pause, if there were moves that you just didn't do and you're like, I'm not ready to do that yet, it's not about that. It's the fact that you stuck with it and you did what you could where you're at and you're still here with me right now. That's boom. That's everything. There's so many people who would have quit and not made it this far and you're here. So please celebrate yourself in that. Let's do a shoulder. I just feel like we need to have a dance party. Yes, yes, you did this. What? Okay, so let's do our shoulder. Well, we're gonna take one at a time. I mean, if you can just deal with me through these workouts, that in itself, you deserve a medal. Oh, who is this girl? She's so extra. Yeah, I'm extra. Bring it back. Alternate it. Take your time, and maybe if you have to do just a couple on one side, then do a couple on the other side. I tend to hold tension in my right side more than my left, so I usually find it's like really having to focus and dig in there. 3, 2, 1, forward. A couple of these. That's self-care. This is like reward for your body for showing up. That is, and I think sometimes we don't give our bodies enough credit. I'm just showing like all the ways that it shows up for us every single day. And sometimes we'll take it for granted. In moments like this, it's like your body really just showed up. And that's amazing. And this is how we kind of thank our body at the end of this. Like, let's give it a little bit of love. 3, 2, last one. This one I love. It's like a hug. So just swing your arms and then bring it kind of like a hug. And make sure you're alternating what hand comes on the top, right? So I have my right arm, then my left, then my right. Just keep this nice and loose and swing. You should feel this probably through a full arm. I feel in my shoulder, my chest, just a nice loose warm or stretch. Making sure our neck is nice and loose, our shoulders are nice and loose. I love that there's like a hug built into this. Like, hugging. For all the amazing work you just did. 3, 2, 1. Now we're gonna take it to big arm circles. This one's a great one. We're gonna take it one at a time. Just around. And after all that shoulder work, you might really feel like you have to take this slow. You might feel some sticking points in there. Just take your time working through this. It is not a race. Just facing forward and then bringing this, stretching through the fingers. Nice big movement. This is glorious. Palm kind of facing out as you bring that back, right? So it's really stretching through. So I'll show you on that side. This is how I bring this, stretching, kind of keeping this externally rotated out. So I really feel that through my arms. And if you can stretch those fingers out, it's gonna even just get a little bit deeper in there. Give me one more on the right side. One more on the left. Yummy. Shake that out. Then I want you to clasp your fingers. Press your palms out so that your thumbs are facing down. You're gonna just press this away from your body, and yes, you can even curl your shoulder blades a little bit, right? You have this. Inhale, you're gonna press out. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale again. press away from your body. You're gonna feel that breath really expand and give you a deeper stretch into your shoulder blades. Exhale, one more time. Inhale, press. Exhale, bring it down. Woo, I love that. And then clasp behind your back. If you can take your hands, clasp them back here and stretch through. Open up the chest. Feel this in the shoulder. If it's uncomfortable bringing your hands together, then you can just keep them at the side, right? They don't have to clasp, but right in the back. Lift up your chest. Maybe you lift your head just a little bit, but not too high. Right? Just comfortable. Stretch it back through the fingers. Inhale. Feel that expansion right here in the front body. Inhale. Inhale. Exhale. And shake it out and release it. Oh my goodness, that was incredible. And like I said, there's going to be other upper body strength. So again, if you're just doing the upper body, maybe you're just doing the muscle strengthening workouts in this series, maybe you're doing all of them with me and you're taking this journey with me, doing all of them. I'm just so proud of you for doing this, and know that they're gonna get progressively challenging as we do the upper body again. And maybe you come back and you do the 0.3 version, right? We do just a slightly different variation on the timing, and even some additional moves in there. So this ends up being a place where you can build what you need for your journey where you are. But I'm excited that we're on this journey together, and I will see you next time.